Here at Beaumont Hospital with Dr. Steve Almany. I'm Jeff Rieger, and we're here on behalf of the Student Heart Check Program with 97.1 The Ticket in Beaumont Hospital. And, Doctor, you know all about the program. Why is it so important?
Well, you know, this all came, Jeff, back a couple years ago when Yari Fisher went down, which I'm sure you remember. You're a Red Wing fan. I've heard you on the radio talk about it. And, you know, at the time, everybody's, oh, my God, a world-class athlete? How does this happen? Well, young people can have heart disease. You know, not usually classic artery problems like I take care of, but they can have problems with rhythm problems. They can have problems with thick hearts, all these things that usually don't manifest until something terrible happens. So we took that when it happened and said, hey, you know what, we got to get out to the public and really start screening these kids. And unfortunately, we have found a lot of things. The good news is we probably saved a few lives.
Now, when you find a problem, and obviously it's a good thing because you save a life, as you mentioned, but when you find a problem, what happens to the child? And is it it's not a death sentence as far as sports is concerned, is it?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, one of the problems is how do you screen these kids? And, you know, probably when you and I were younger and you had to get cleared for sports, they took you in to get, what, a hernia check? You know, joke in my field is no one dies of a hernia. They weren't asking the right questions. So we've been influential in changing in the state of Michigan the questions they ask. So did someone in your family drop dead suddenly? Do you get dizzy or lightheaded? Do you have chest pain? You know, do you get winded really easily? So we start with that, and then we have a cardiologist see them, you know, volunteer staff, do an EKG, and if we need to, we do an ultrasound. And, you know, the reality is most things that we find don't have to stop a kid. He needs to be followed up. Some that are a big deal, we stop the kid from doing it, and usually we can fix it. So it is not a death sentence by any means.
Now, just overall, because I'm used to going to the doctor, getting a physical, I'm sure an athlete. I remember in high school I was used as well. When you're looking at this overall, just maybe the urge to get, because parents might see this, they might hear about it, they might think, well, you know, my kid is not Wes Leonard. You know, that awful story from Fenville. Just how common of a thing is this?
Well, the thing we're really looking for is this hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is a thick heart. It's about 1 out of 500 kids is born with it. Obviously, 1 out of 500 kids doesn't drop dead, but that is the one that we are scared about, that people can have sudden death. So, you know, the kids need to be screened. The bad thing is a lot of kids don't have symptoms until they have it. And it usually doesn't manifest until they're in high school, because when you're in middle school and stuff like that, you're not doing stuff that's strenuous enough to really facilitate dying. So we usually see it in high school or early college.
Of course, everybody's worried about money. I'm worried about money. I'm sure you are. Everybody is. And the great thing about this program is it's totally free. And I don't know if you could tell us or not, but if a child or a student were to get these tests and they actually had to pay for it, if it wasn't free, what does that sort of thing run?
And you just hit on the main reason why this doesn't happen in the United States, because if you had to pay to go to an office, this could be incredibly expensive. And since we don't find things in most kids, it's not cost efficient. So Blue Cross, et cetera, they don't want to pay for it. We've been fortunate because we have people like yourself, you know, the 97.1, we've had ABC, we've had the Ernst family that have donated money that allows us to buy the equipment, and then we have the staff from Beaumont and the hospital, which is incredible, and every time we go out there, they take the equipment, we get all the docs and the volunteers. It could be, you know, probably if a kid's relatively healthy, it could probably be $50. We probably spend $1,000 on some of these kids when we do the EKGs and the ultrasounds. So, and no cost to the families at all.
And just lastly, just to recap, how great of a program is this? Just considering you talk about the cost, you talk about finding kids with problems and saving lives.
We think it's a great program. Now we're at 7,000 kids. We're going to have another 1,000 in Clarkston on January 21st. It is now the largest screening program in the United States. It's got enough attention now that we've been contacted by the International Olympic Committee, that it's now mandated in Europe, and the NCAA has contacted us, and we think that they'll probably change some of the evaluations of athletes in Division I and II sports. So, you know, I think, you know, it's been a long haul, oftentimes not appreciated, but I think we are making some changes in how these kids are evaluated.
Doctor, we appreciate the time, and good luck with everything. Good luck with this program. And I just got to say, I just have a feeling Michigan might sweep Michigan State again in hoops. I just wanted to throw that out there.
I liked you until we got to that point.
I figured. Thank you so much.